Hello everybody that is tuning in. I am going to start up this neat old game. In just a minute. All right, if anybody has any questions, type something into the chat room. I'm kind of just goofing off and thought I would do a short little stream of this game that I've been working on that I've got restored. This is a 1967 Gottlieb high score. What's kind of cool about this game is it's a pinball-themed pinball machine, which is kind of neat. If you see the back glass, it's got people playing pinball on the back glass, and then on that back glass it's got people playing pinball. It's kind of like a yo dog, I got your pinball themed pinball about pinball kind of thing going. This kind of meta thing, which is pretty neat. So you've got the two girls playing pinball with the back glass of them also playing, which is, I guess, pretty cool, right? I don't know. Anyway, let's fire this thing up and see how it sounds. 1967. Took a little bit of work to get this thing back in shape. There was some problems. Some flipper assemblies were broken. I've done a little bit of modding to it. There's some LEDs in here, but it's about half. It's still mostly incandescent bulbs. So let's take a look at it. Let me see. I'll make this a little bit bigger, like that. That looks pretty decent, huh? So you can see the whole thing. And let's start a game. Love that traditional electromechanical machine. So I'm going to start recording. All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the little live stream of this game that I've been working on. I'm going to show a little bit of gameplay. This is a 1967 Gottlieb high score electromechanical pinball machine. By electromechanical, that means it's all mechanical. It's not solid state. There's no integrated circuits and stuff like that in here. There's no computer. It's all just a series of relays and switches. It's mostly mechanical, and you'll be able to tell that from the sound. So let's just jump right in and start playing a game. And anybody who's watching, type into the chat room. I'll be happy to answer any questions or anything. And I'll go over the rules and how it all works. See, there's a neat little roulette wheel looking thing in here. Pretty cool. Oh. And there you go. See, the 9 is a little sticky on there. See, it didn't go all the way, but it's not interfering with gameplay. So you'll notice this game has 4 flippers, but they're not your typical flippers. There's a left set and a right set, and they work in tandem. So when I hit the right flipper button, left flipper button, both of the left flippers flip in tandem. I can't individually control these, so they flip in tandem, and the right ones flip in tandem. It's kind of a little bit of a mind-blowing setup here because it's not what you're normally used to. You're used to when you hit the right flipper button, the right flippers flip, and the left flipper button, just the left one flips. But this has got a set on each, so it's kind of weird. I'm trying not to play childlike where you'd hit them both at the same time. But this is one of those games where probably hitting both flippers would make more sense. If I was in competition and I wasn't familiar with this game, I think I'd have an easier grasp if I just hit both flippers at the same time. But I'm going to try to use them independently. So it takes a little bit of rewiring of your brain and your hand-eye coordination in order to be able to feel comfortable with that. So I take it as a challenge. Of course, sometimes when I'll just hit both. So I've got this game set to 3 balls. It can be either 3 balls or 5 balls. You could see when this game first came out, it was 10 cents a game, or you got 3 plays for 25 cents. As I mentioned, this is from 1964, and I actually scored enough to win a game there. 3,100 points is enough to win a game. I got 3,300. So the rule set in this is pretty simple and straightforward. This is from the era when these games were kind of like gambling games. So that's why they have often credit counters that go up pretty high, because people would play these and then they would kind of get paid off by the guy in the bar, and he would reset them and give them money for it. So it was kind of a way of encouraging people to gamble. Although at this late stage in the late 60s, they were kind of in trouble for trying to do gambling stuff. So this is kind of more of a hybrid gambling skill game, but it does have the roulette wheel in here, which is very kind of gambling-esque. So a good bit of your score in this game depends on how this roulette wheel randomly ends up. So let's start another game, and I'll go into that and how it works. So, and hello everybody that's watching. I'm showing off this 1967 Gottlieb high score. So let's talk about the rule set here. It's a very simple rule set. Basically, you've got all these. You got your pop bumpers. This one up here at the top is 50 points. Everything else is 10 points. I think some of the bumper shots are 1 point. You'll see these targets labeled in rollovers labeled A, B, and C. So what does that do? When you hit a lit A target, it advances the A. So you have A, B, and C. And it starts at 5, 50, and 500. So every time you hit a target, you'll advance the value of the A space, the B space, or the C space. The objective here is to hit the A, B, and C targets to max out the values of 500, 1,000, and 2,000, and then spin the wheel. And the wheel is marked with A, B, C, and a star. Now, because of the way these things the value is distributed, you have more A's than you do B's than you do C's. So there's only 1 star on this wheel, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A's, and 1, 2, 3, 4 B's, and 1, 2 C's, and then 1 star. So the C is going to be the most statistically, well, the star is going to be the hardest one to hit because there's only 1 of them, followed by 2 of the C's, followed by 4 of the B's, followed by 5 of the A's. So obviously the big money hit would be to rack C up and then hit it. If you hit the star, that's an extra ball. So let's see what we can do. And you'll see that there are these holes in the middle. When they're lit, that's what'll give you a spin of the wheel. Or if it rolls over a rollover that's lit. So not much there, only 202 points. It's pretty pathetic. Didn't even get a spin. So the 2 ways to get a spin is either to go over a lit rollover or to hit the lit hole. So you can see I'm advancing some of the different targets. Okay, I got to spin. So C is worth 1,000, B is worth 50, A is worth 5. And it's a B. So that's 50 points. Ah! It's still weird trying to control those flippers. It just throws your head off a little bit. Alright, let's keep it going. So how is this? Is the live stream looking good? Is everybody able to see it? Oh, I'll take it. Ah! Alright, give me a spin. C is going to be worth 1,000. What's it going to be? C! Alright. So there's not a 1,000-point relay down below, so to score 1,000 it does 2 500s. That's why you heard 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Alright, I think this is the last ball. Give me a spin. Oh! The star. Extra ball. That was big. It's hard to shoot for those holes. It's almost like... Oh, there we go. I did it. Okay. What's interesting is I can't figure out when. Okay, it did reset the thing that time. I'm trying to figure out under what circumstances it resets these counters, because that time it did reset the counters, but I've seen other times where it spins and it doesn't reset. So there's still maybe a few little details of the rule set I'm not familiar with. Max out C. Oh, okay. Give me C. Come on, C. A. And it didn't reset. It didn't reset at that time. C is still maxed out. Oh, wasn't paying attention there. Okay, got my extra ball. All right, give me a C. B, that's 1,000. Nice. Oh, and that's it. All right, so there you have it. 1967 Gottlieb high score. You'll notice there's no chimes in this. This has bells. It has 2 different kinds of bells. And when I got this game, it didn't have a... I don't have the lockdown bar all the way down. Huh. Better be careful. I don't want to shock myself, which is entirely possible. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Didn't have a metal back plate, so I made one out of wood, and I actually like it. It's not as the bells are not quite as loud as they would normally be. So there you have it. 1967 Gottlieb high score. Fun little game to play. Kind of does tricks with your head. And if you want to find out more about this and stuff that I'm doing, go to pinballhelp.com. We have a YouTube channel, YouTube/pinballhelp. Please subscribe. There's also the website pinchurch.com, pinchurch, where you can find out more stuff. And that's it. I hope you like it. Okay. I was recording that, and now I'm going to play a few more games while I'm on the live stream. I want to do this more often. I want to have more games going, and most of the games that you see people playing are the modern games, the Stern games. This is obviously much slower paced, much slower paced. This is an old electromechanical game, and from a simpler time. Tell you what. Oh, can't do that. All right. So I just ended the game, and I'm going to put up a two-player game. Oh. So I started the game with the ball on the playfield, and that counted as my first ball. So the first player is now at a whopping 50 points. Okay. More incentive for player one to catch up. All right. Come on. 500 points there. Oh. I'll take a spin. See what we got. Okay. Back to player one. So the player stepper unit is working properly. Oh, here's another interesting thing about this. In multiplayer, apparently you can steal the other person's progress. It does not reset the advancement. That's interesting. I don't wonder. It's hard to tell if that's the way that's intentional. I mean, I don't see any indication that the rules or the game is not functioning properly. Oh, extra ball. So let's see. Okay. Same player shoots again, and it did not reset the ladder there, so A, B, and C is in the middle. But under certain circumstances, it does reset it. I'm curious. I'm not sure what it is. But this is be the equivalent of stealing somebody else's ball, because you could have one player run up the advancement ladder, drain, and then you can steal their advancements. Oh, another extra ball. The odds of that are pretty rare. Come on. Oh, nice. Okay. Somebody is at the door right now. That's not good. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a live stream. I hope it's not the people that went after Breonna Taylor and they're going to kill me next. I hope I should poke my head out the window. Alright, so player one goes again. Uh-oh. Did I roll the thing over? Why is it at 0 still? Hold on, I'm going to check the door. Okay, that was the census. All right. I should have been paying attention to the score reel. Well, I'm recording this, well, so I can look back at it and see why it didn't roll over there. Did not roll over. Sometimes these old score reels, they just don't, they can be a little finicky sometimes. See, it's not resetting the value ladders. We're keeping them the same. If I was doing this, I would have these things reset more often, if not reset for every ball. I think that way there's just a little bit more of a challenge, and then one person can't steal the other person's progress. All right. I'm going to clean this real quick. If anybody has any questions, just type them in the chat room. I'll be happy to answer. For those of you who are new and just joining, this is a 1967 pinball machine. It's called Gottlieb High Score. It's a pinball-themed pinball machine of people playing a pinball-themed pinball machine. So it's kind of cool. Kind of an interesting, weird, self-referential theme. And as you can see, it's entirely mechanical. It has 4 flippers, a left set and a right set that work in tandem, so it throws you off a little bit as far as how they actually work. And it takes a little getting used to. It's kind of an interesting challenge. It's kind of like a brain teaser. So this is the last ball for this guy. Oh, and did it flip back to, was it 0 again? Could have sworn that it was more than, there was something in the 1,000. I'm gonna have to pay attention to that. Okay. I think that score reel was acting a little off. All right. Okay, let's try this again. This time I'm going to pay a little attention to that 1,000-point score reel on player 1. So the 10s to the 100s are working okay. A 9 is sticking. That could be one of our problems. It is counting properly. That's 500 points is right. That 50-point target takes a reasonable amount of force to trigger. All right. Give me a C. Give me a C. We're 600 points right now. A. That's right. There it is. It didn't. The 1,000-point did not roll over. Look at that. It stayed on 0. Okay. So is the 1,000-point relay now broken? I'm going to have to take a look at that in the back, because it should be 1,496. And it's at 0. It was working a little bit earlier, though. $900 again. Let's see. Is it going to roll over to 1,000, or is it going to not roll over? It didn't. So that 1,000-point is no longer rolling over now on player 1. All right. So we have our first problem with the game. And it broke while I was playing. we go. Now it rolled over. So it's intermittent. So what's happening there is there's a switch on the score reel. So when the 9 unit comes up, and when it flips from 9 to 0, it hits another switch which tells it to flip the next digit over. And so sometimes if those switches don't register, it doesn't trick. So you see it did flip to 1000 there. So the way these switches work is they've got like a little, this is one leaf of the switch and this is the other. So when they hit, they kind of brush against each other. They don't touch, they brush. And they're self-cleaning. And so if these games sit for a while, the coating of the switches will become oxidized and it won't always make a good contact. That's why sometimes the more you play these old games, the more reliable they become. This game hasn't gotten a whole lot of play, so the switches are a little dusty probably. But it's possible the more I play it, the more that 1000-point player 1 switch will loosen up, you know. We'll just have to see. All right, so it didn't switch that time either. Huh. All right. I'm actually going to see if I can fix that real quick. Let me see. All right. Maybe you can watch me get electrocuted on live stream. I believe it's going to be the 100-point relay. That's the one that needs to be cleaned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the machine off and get a piece of sandpaper, and I'm going to see about fixing that. Let me see. A little piece of sandpaper to clean the contacts on. Let's see, where's one? Here it is. Okay. So there's a little file that we use. I actually prefer to use a piece of sandpaper though. These files. Okay. Alright. So I got a little piece of sandpaper here. And I'm going to turn the game off. And I'm going to pull the relay out. And I've moved the camera around here, but it's faster for me to just clean this than it is to pull the camera around. So I'm just going to try to clean it. So I'll advance the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. check to see which switches are tripping at what time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice the problem appears to be with the 1,000-point relay, but I am messing with the 100-point relay. So why is that? That's because it's the 100-point relay that triggers the 1,000-point relay. So my hope is that will have fixed it. So let's see. Oh, it's a lot louder with the cover off, too. You can hear it. A little bit more bright. $500. $700. Oh, there we go. What's 1,000? Good. That's what we want to see. Okay. I gotta fix that 9 on the 10s. That's a little bit of probably some grease in the stepper motor that started to harden. Give me a B. Yes. Oh, it didn't change, did it? It did not change. It did reset this, though. I guess if you... I guess if you hit the top A, B, and C, then it resets. Maybe that's what causes the ladder to reset. Okay, so I want to see that flip to 2,000. Nope, I didn't score enough. So if the 1,000-point relay is not reliably firing, there's a couple of things that it... There's a couple of... It might not be just in the score reel switch. It might be something else. Okay, so let's see if it resets. If I hit A or B and it resets, we know that's what causes it. Oh, it hit C. Shoot. And 1,000 didn't trigger, did it? So we're still having problems with that 1,000-point, and it was working fine. 600, 700. Okay, here we go. A, B. Let's see if it resets if it hits A or B. B. It does. Okay. So now we know what resets the skill ladder, but that 1,000 point relay is not reliably changing. Maybe I will check something on the 1,000 point relay just to clean both of those. Okay. This is the nature of electromechanical games. Always just having to troubleshoot it. So that the 1,000 point is not changing. So I'm going to play around with it more, and nobody needs to see me wait while I do that. But wanted to just do a quick little stream. Hope you like this. If you want to see more of this, visit pinballhelp.com or subscribe to my YouTube channel, YouTube/pinballhelp. And you want to find out more about the Pin Church, go to pinchurch.com. And until next time, thank you guys for watching.